Students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm broadcasting to you live from Central Europe. Today, we are looking at IELTS Writing Task 2, a question with advantage and disadvantage style writing. And the materials come from our websites for general IELTS. Check us out at IELTS help.com, and help you we will. We have over 100 hours of video lessons, 6 original practice exams, and a fully interactive course. Hi Begzad, hi Pachu, hi Hosamadin, Turkey. I hope everybody's doing great. If you're looking for academic IELTS, check us out at aehelp.com for lots of great materials there as well. Now, an important news, students. Today is the last live IELTS class that we're doing on this channel. We will be uploading more HD videos in the coming weeks, but it's the last live IELTS class, as you can see on this channel. We'll be doing more IELTS lessons, so don't worry. We will be doing lots and lots of live IELTS classes, but we will be doing them exclusively on our Academic English Help channel. So make sure you tune in there. If you're looking for our books, you can get them from Amazon at search for GE Helps General IELTS there. If you have questions about our products or about the IELTS exam, send me an email, adrian@gieltshelp.com. So that's my name, Adrian, at gieltshelp.com. Okay, so without further ado, Pachu, we will not be doing live classes on this channel. We will be doing them on the Academic English Help channel, but we will put videos up for Writing Task 1 as well as general reading section, just HD videos pre-recorded on this channel. Okay, so here is our Task 2 question today. This is what we're looking at. Let's read it together. So IELTS Task 2 writing, you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Millions of people around the world play lotteries in hopes of winning large sums of money. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of lottery playing and give your own opinion. Give explanations and examples to support your argument. You should write at least 250 words. Okay, students, let's do a little bit of planning and formulate our thesis. So let's keep it simple. Just going to start with a question here. What are the advantages of playing the lottery? So let's start it off by thinking about the advantages, and then we'll think about the disadvantages, and then we'll come up with our own opinion. So what are the advantages of playing the lottery? What's the benefit? Okay, another way to say it is, what are the benefits of playing the lottery? Nice to see so many students joining in. Hi, Rekha. Another one of our members from our academic channel. So Begzad says, a poor person can become rich. Okay, simplify your thoughts, Begzad. Easy money, right? So, easy money, invest very little, win a lot, become rich. Sure. Any other benefits? I don't know about earning lots of money, Simran. I don't think you're earning money with the lottery. It's more just winning money. Yep, it's a chance to be rich. But are there any other benefits? So aside from gaining a fortune, as Amin Izayev is saying, so aside from gaining a fortune, are there any other benefits to playing the lottery? Okay, Begzad says it can be fun, right? It can be exciting. Sure. Any other benefits? Relationship with other people. It can be social. Sure. It can be fun. It can be a social activity. Anybody know what that's called when a few people get together and play the lottery together? So they agree that if one of them wins, then they split the money. Anybody know? There's actually a special collocation for that in English when a group of people play the lottery as a team. Anybody know what that's called? Meanwhile, Begzod came out with another good reason. So income for the government, which can be used to build society. Like money is used to build a school. Sure. Yeah, Begzod, so you're being clever. You're just remembering because we have a passage about lotteries in our IELTS materials. Good for you, Begzod, for remembering that. Yeah, and there's another really good answer by Ali Talha who says it gives people hope. Sure, that's a big one. Okay. When people play lotteries in groups, it's called a lottery pool. I don't see anybody answering that question, but that's called a lottery pool. Okay, so if you have a group of friends and you all play different numbers and you say, hey, if I win, we'll split it. Same with everybody else. If you win, you split it evenly. That's called a lottery pool. Okay, you play in a lottery pool. Sure, okay, so there are some fantastic reasons. So it's easy money, it's exciting, it can be a social activity, it gives people hope. It's income for the government, which can be used to build society. Money from the lotteries can be used to build roads, schools, hospitals. Sure, what are the negatives of playing the lottery? Don't be shy, students. Just give me your answers. What's the negative of gambling? Getting addicted, losing lots of money, right, Pichu, right, Begzod? Yeah, Zephyr, it's a form of gambling. So to put together different words from different students, gambling addiction, right? So gambling addiction leads to poverty, right? So somebody gets addicted to gambling and they become poor, which means poverty. So they are in poverty. That's the noun. So gamble addiction leads to poverty. Sure. Any other negatives for the lottery? So what else? Addiction, losing lots of money, becoming poor. Any other negatives that you can think of? What else could be a negative of the lotteries? Try to always think small, like the individual, so each person can get addicted and can lose lots of money, and then try to think about the global picture as well. So how can it be a negative in society? So addiction is the first thought, but don't just think the first thought. Remember, in IELTS, you can get a better score if you're able to include some original thoughts. Okay, so a person can be disappointed. Depression is what Ali is saying. So source of disappointment and depression. Yeah, it's possible. If somebody keeps losing, they become very negative and pessimistic. What else? So if you think of the big picture, if you think of the government, if you think of society, what else can happen? What else can be a negative of lotteries? So don't just think about the individual. Okay, this is a really important tip when you're planning for your IELTS task 2 ideas, okay? So when you are planning your ideas for your task 2 essay, think about the individual as well as the larger society, community, and government. Okay. Yeah, so Pachu says it could lead to criminal activity. Right, Pachu? What kind of criminal activity? So maybe corruption, right? Can lead to corruption at the government level. Sure. Yeah, that's not unusual for the history of lotteries to eventually create corruption. There's a lot of money in play. People get greedy, governments get greedy, and corruption happens. Absolutely. So, yeah, definitely. Okay. So those are absolutely some negatives. So what is your opinion then? So we have our positives. Okay, it's easy money. It can be fun, exciting. It can be a social activity. It gives people hope. It gives the government money to use for schools and roads. We have the negatives, so gambling addiction, source of disappointment, depression, corruption at the government level, at the social level. So what is your opinion, okay? Create your thesis from these. So what's your opinion? Is it mostly good or bad? Okay. What do you think? So Pachu says, I'll take the positive side of the debate. Sure, we can do that. So mostly lotteries are good. As long as people control themselves. Okay, write your thesis, students. Does everybody know what a thesis is? Does anybody not know what a thesis is? So what is a thesis statement? This is a very important word that I just put up here, thesis. Does anybody have an idea of what the thesis is? Thesis is not research. Research is an experiment, Sue. 41210. What is it? What is a thesis, Pachu? Okay. One good way, Rekha, it's not really the outline of your research. That's a research outline. The thesis is your thought. It's your idea. It's what you set out to prove. If you're thinking about your thesis at the university level, so you're thinking about a master's thesis or a doctorate thesis, the thesis means the idea of the person, which is their argument that they set out to prove. Okay? So it is a statement in the essay, in the introduction, usually at the end of the introduction, that tells your reader the structure of your essay and the main ideas of your essay, so the main content of your essay. And that's right, Pachu, it includes your opinion. The thesis can be one sentence or it can be a couple of sentences, and it has to be very well written. You must not make mistakes in your thesis, okay? It's really important that you have a clear thesis with clear points, all right? So I'll write a thesis here for us. I'll show you what I mean. And then make sure to practice this. So here we go. Clearly, there are negatives for both the individual and society So clearly there are negatives for lotteries for both the individual and society. However, I believe that the positives are more given proper administration. Okay. So here's my thesis. Clearly, there are negatives for lotteries for both the individual and society. However, I believe that the positives are more given proper administration. Okay. So here, my thesis tells the reader that I have 2 body paragraphs or more. The first body paragraph will discuss the negatives of lotteries for the individual and society. And the second body paragraph will discuss the positives for the individual and for society with some more information about having proper administration. Okay? Now, the structure will be first negative, then positive. If it were a longer essay, so if it were 500 words or 1,000 words, it could be 5, 6 paragraphs, but it would still be negatives first, then positives, and then talking about the proper administration. Okay? And I see that some students are also writing down their own thesis statements, which is great. These are some of the regular students. You should always practice your thesis statement. So Asta says, although some agree that playing lottery has advantages like easy money and exciting activity, I believe the negative effects like addiction and depression are more prevalent in society. Asta, that's a very good thesis statement. Okay, I like it. It's a really nice thesis statement. I can clearly tell where you're going with your essay. Begzod says, although addiction and corruption are 2 chief deficits of having gambling in society, I do believe that the positives not only provide a great source of entertainment, but also help gain income for some people. Sure, maybe not income, Begzod, but also make dreams come true for some people. That's how I would finish that one, Begzod. It would make more sense. Okay, that's also a good thesis statement. So clearly, Begzod, your thesis statement is arguing the opposite of what Asta is arguing, but both of you have very nice, clear points, and I can tell where you're going with it. Okay. Pachu says, although there are both negatives and positives of lottery, I believe that there are more positives or there are more benefits than deficits in society. Pachu, that's okay. So yours is a little bit more generalized than Begzod's and Asta's, so you don't go into as many specific points. Just make sure, Pachu, that you're not repeating the words positive and negative. So if you have to use the words again, the ideas again, paraphrase them. So instead, use benefits, deficits. Okay. Okay, Begzod. So I see what you mean, that people earn money. I would say government earns money then, Begzod, to make it more clear. Helps to gain, okay, helps to gain revenue. So instead of income, Begzod, use the word revenue then. Helps to gain revenue for the benefit of society. That's how I would do it, Begzod. Be a little bit more clear. Igul says, lottery is a good way to get much money in just one day if Lady Luck smiles on the individual. However, I do believe that it is gambling and full of corruption. So Igul, notice my corrections. Don't use the word you in your essay, in your thesis. Second person voice is not good in a persuasive essay. Second person voice is usually for narratives like task 1, letter writing, Igul. So one more time, Igul, notice the corrections. Lottery is a good way to get much money in just one day if Lady Luck smiles on the individual. However, I believe it is just gambling and full of corruption. Okay? All right. So let's keep going now. We can start our introduction. So first paragraph is the Introductory paragraph. All right. The introductory paragraph should start off with a hook. Okay. The hook is an interesting statement that catches your reader's attention. Okay. So write a clear sentence, clear idea that's simple, that catches the reader's attention, and targets the topic of this essay. Yes, Aigul, it's Lady Luck smiles on individuals. Yes, absolutely. Good. Good for you for catching that correction. Yep, I just made it darker. We're in the same train of thought here. Bagzod, I just have a window to my left here, and it's changing springtime sunlight. So I like to have some natural light coming into my studio, so you get a little bit of range of lighting here. All right, so write your hook, students. Something simple. Connected to the topic. Topic is lotteries, okay? And keep it clear, all right? I'm going to write my hook as well. So, of course, I'm always pushing you for natural, high-level English. Therefore, I like to give you some different ways to express ideas. This is my hook here. The hook should not be long. It should be a simple sentence. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 words in this sentence. And that's roughly the maximum that you should have in your hook is about 15 words. If you have 20, 25 word sentences for your hook, you just have a much higher chance of making mistakes with grammar, word choice, spelling, syntax, punctuation, and that looks really bad when your first sentence contains mistakes. Okay? Asta, I see you're thinking very similar. So Asta says, everyone wants to make easy money in life. Yeah, you don't need the there, but it's okay. You're very close to what I wrote. Nirmaljeet, yeah, that's okay as well. So these days people spend a lot of their money on lottery all around the world. Sure, that works as well. Pachu says, in the 21st century, comma, lottery is becoming very popular. I don't know about the due to technology, Pachu. That's a bad idea because we're not talking about the influence of technology on playing the lottery, so I would leave that out. Okay, and make sure your comma is right beside the Y, Pachu. It should be close, all right? Okay, Patricio says, each year more people spend both time and money on lotteries. Okay, double T, Patricio, lotteries. Okay, all right, this is what I have. Most people are fans of easy money, and the lottery presents just such an opportunity. Okay. All right, so what are we talking about here? Let's give some background information next. Okay, background information is definitions and importance of question, usually about 2 sentences. Okay, so what are we talking about and why are we talking about it? That's what you should think of, okay? So, or what are we writing about? Why are we writing about it? So what are we talking about? Why are we talking? We're not really talking in an essay. We're writing and reading, but you get the idea. So what are we talking about? Why are we talking about it? Okay, that's clearly good information to have in any introduction. Okay. Quantitative language, Pachu, would be probably quite clever in this background information. Okay. So now is when you want to include some numbers potentially. Okay. So I'm going to write my background. You write yours. Okay, that's what I wrote there for my background. And again, Pachu, just like you mentioned, I am adding in some quantitative information. Sorry about the brightness there, ladies and gents. It's just we have some cloudy weather here in Budapest, and I really don't want to shut my curtains. So sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's a little bit more cloudy. That's why I'm changing the settings on the camera here, but you get the idea. All right, so this is what I've written for my background here. Millions of people around the world spend a couple of dollars or more each week in hopes of winning millions when their numbers are drawn. Okay. The lottery industry is internationally valued in the billions of dollars, and its merits demand attention. So that's why it's important to talk about this, because it's a big business, right? There's lots and lots of money exchanging hands from individuals to organizations to governments in the lottery industry. So Hossa Medine, Turkey, says, nowadays, millions of people are increasingly giving interest to lotteries and spend lots of money each year in the quest for riches. Riches, not richness. Riches, just riches. Okay, take out the N, Hossa Medine. But it's a really nice background otherwise. So Hossa Medine, Turkey, good for you. It's a nice background. Okay, one more time. Nowadays, millions of people are increasingly giving interest to lotteries and spend their hard-earned money each year in the quest for riches. Okay, good. Patricio says, many people around the world enjoy playing the lottery to win easy money, although at times this behavior carries negative impacts in their lives. Patricio, careful not to confuse the background with the argument. Okay, so in the background information, you do not want to present your argument yet. You want to save the argument for your thesis statement, which comes after. All right. Begzod says, these days individuals spend around $2 to $3 for gambling in the belief of winning a jackpot, which could be close to $3 million. And that can significantly change a person's life. Very good, Begzod. Okay, nice definition, nice use of numbers. I would probably use the word 3, T-H-R-E-E, instead of the numeral 3, Begzod. It just looks better. Nirmaljit says, lottery industry is one of the emerging big businesses in the 21st century as millions of individuals try their luck in hopes of winning large sums of money. Good, Nirmaljit. Try to avoid repeating the word industry. Okay, so avoid the word industry. Okay, good. So now all I do is I take my thesis and I stick it in at the end of the introductory paragraph. Here we go. So this is my introduction now. Most people are fans of easy money, and the lottery presents just such an opportunity. Millions of people around the world spend a couple of dollars or more each week in hopes of winning millions of dollars when their numbers are drawn. The lottery industry is internationally valued in the billions of dollars, and its merits demand attention. Clearly, there are negatives for lotteries for both the individual and society. However, I believe that the positives are more given proper administration. Instead of administration, perhaps the word regulation is better. Okay. All right. So that is a solid introductory paragraph. It's roughly 50, 60 words, which is okay. It's about 1/5 of your essay. So anywhere from a quarter to a fifth of your essay for the introduction, okay? Mine looks long, but don't forget that I have this very long explanation here, which is just explanation. So please don't write background and hook into your official IELTS exam, okay? That's just for you to learn, all right? Yeah, it's a good question. So 40 to 50 words is enough. It's introduction anywhere from 50 to even 80 words. Okay, so if you have 70, 80 words in the introduction, if it's a good introduction, it's not too long. Remember, it's 250 words minimum, students, so you need 250 words. Okay, so now we write body paragraph 1. So body 1 is going to be about the negatives of playing lottery for the individual and society. Okay, so first is the topic sentence. Okay, the topic sentence should clearly tell your reader what your body paragraph is about. So our body paragraph is about the negative impacts on the individual and possibly in society for playing the lottery. Give me a topic sentence, students. So give me a topic sentence that, that tells the reader that this paragraph is about the negatives on the individual and on society. Okay, so give me some information. I'm going to write a topic sentence as well, and then we'll compare. So, all right. So this is what I have for my topic sentence. Often people and society can experience devastating effects of lotteries as a result of greed. Okay? Think of human nature, so greed. Okay? Amin Isaev is asking a question. If someone uses strong collocations in their essay and grammar is perfect, but the essay is around 200 words, can they get a 9? No, Amin, they cannot. To get a 9, you have to have task completion, which means you need at least 250 words. And to be very honest, Amin, even if someone has perfect grammar and good collocations and good ideas, even more importantly, I mean, if they have good ideas for their essay, even if it's 250 words, they might still just get 8.5. To get a band 9 essay, you usually need closer to 300, 350 words so that you can go into more details in your ideas. It's a good question, I mean. So no, 200 words, no way that they'll get a 9. Okay. Yes, Pachu, that's correct. So the first body paragraph is about the negatives of lotteries. And then the next body paragraph will be about the positives. Always this paragraph that I support, the idea that I support, should be the next paragraph as well. Okay. Okay, Nirmaljeet says lotteries have negative effects on the community as many individuals become greedy and resort to criminal activity. Nirmaljeet, resort to criminal activity. Okay, and don't use the pronoun it has because it's a body paragraph. You should start off with the subjective or the exact noun. So lotteries have negative effects on communities as many individuals become greedy and often resort to crime. Okay. Begzod, you want to be more direct in your topic sentence that you're talking about the negative. So since lotteries exist in society, there's a clear negative impact on many people's behavior. So the word negative, Begzod, is missing between clear and impact. Putting that word in there will be much more effective for your reader to see that, okay, your thesis is good, your direction is clear. All right? Allah says there is no doubt that lotteries have negatives on either the person or society. Okay, I would use both and, Allah Musa. So I would say there is no doubt that lotteries have negatives on both the person and society. Okay, all right, students. So here's mine again. Often people in society can experience devastating effects of lotteries as a result of greed. Now comes the explanation. Okay, so now I need to explain what we're talking about. So what are we talking about here? Let's explain it. Okay, explanation. What does it mean, negative or devastating effects on the individual? Well, we discussed this. It's gambling addiction leading to poverty. So okay, so there's my explanation for the first point in the topic sentence. Some players become so consumed by winning large sums of money that they become addicted to the lottery, to playing the lottery, and spend all of their hard-earned money on tickets. Eventually, they become poor and dependent on society. Okay. Farhan says lottery systems can have devastating effects on the fabric of society as there are very few winners and many losers. Farhan, don't use bunch of in your writing. It's too colloquial. Okay, you're using it correctly, but we use that more in speaking. We don't use it in writing. Keep in mind, students, that there are certain expressions, especially these days in English, which have become very popular in text messaging or in everyday speech among friends especially. But we do not use those expressions in writing. Bunch of or huge are examples of this, okay? So especially for academic essays. So Farhan, good for you for trying, but just keep it to spoken English. Don't use it in written English, okay? So lottery systems can have devastating effects on the fabric of society, as there are few winners and many losers. So the resulting disappointment outweighs the joy that the few people experience. Okay, so it's much more accurate, Farhan. Okay. Okay, so, and Amin says, I'm repeating the word become too often. Sure, yeah, so let's try to replace that, Amin. So some players become so consumed by winning large sums of money that they, instead of become here, I can use the word get. They get addicted to playing the lottery and spend all of their hard-earned money on tickets. Eventually, instead of saying become poor, what's another way to say become poor? So I'm not repeating the word become. Very good, Amin, for catching that. How can I say become poor in a very nice, natural, high-level English way? What's a different way to say become poor? There's another way. And good, yeah, I should always practice what I preach, and I'm always telling you to avoid repetition. So indeed, Farhan, when you are at home and you're reviewing your work and you notice that, hey, I'm using the word become, then I need to rephrase that so it reads nicer. Amin says being destitute. Yep, that's not bad. Okay. Or if I want to be a little bit closer to become poor, I can say fall into poverty. Okay. Eventually, time expression, use a comma there, they fall into poverty. Now, let's not forget about the government. Okay. So in addition, governments may become corrupt and embezzle, which I'm not sure how to write, embezzle the revenue gained from lottery sales. Okay, good. Now I want to follow that with an example. And using words like bankruptcy, Pachu, when you're explaining this point about people losing their money, that's great. Absolutely, okay? So you can do that. Kasra, right away I can see that you're using a contraction. Don't use a contraction. Amin, fall into indigent, it wouldn't be used in that way. It's not natural. Fall into poverty, not fall into indigent. It's strange. Kasra, don't use contractions. So do not instead of don't. So people who do not believe in hard work and planning their objective, following through with their plans to accomplish their goals, often end up getting involved in gambling, hoping that they can earn a lot more. Kesra, the other danger in your explanation is that you're going off topic. Here we're focusing specifically on playing the lottery, okay? To me, it seems like you're focusing more on the types of individuals who gamble, and that's a little bit moving away from this topic, okay? So careful with that. All right, so now we need an example. And if I remember correctly, I am using first person. The voice of the essay is given in the thesis. Here's my thesis. There are clear negatives for lotteries for both the individual and society. However, I believe that the positives are more. So this I tells me and tells the reader that I am using a first person voice, which means personal opinion, right? My voice. Okay. Kesra, the question is in the stream description. So anybody who's joining late, you can see the question in the stream description. And I'm going back there right now anyway. Here, the question says, give your own opinion. Now, sometimes students think, oh, I shouldn't give personal opinion in task 2. That's not true, especially if the question is asking you for personal opinion. That would be really strange to not include personal opinion when the task is asking you for personal opinion. So it says, give your own opinion. Okay? If you don't give a personal opinion in this task 2, you might actually lose band scores because it's asking you for that. So the examiners are looking for your personal opinion. And if you don't say my opinion, and this is my example, then they'll say, where's this person's personal opinion? Okay, so include a personal opinion. Pachu says, in last year's news published in the New York Times, I read that a person lost $20 billion on the American lottery. Okay, 20 billion, I think it's a little bit unrealistic, Pachu, but maybe 2 million. Okay. And again, include personal opinion. So I read that. Okay. Why? Because it's first person voice. Okay. So okay, so there's my example. I used to have a neighbor, Mr. Smith, who developed an addiction to the lottery, eventually became bankrupt, and lost his house. Okay. All right, now I'm going to connect or conclude my paragraph to my next one, which is the benefits of playing the lottery. Okay, watch how I do that. So nevertheless, such cases as Mr. Smith's are relatively rare compared to the many people who benefit from government organized lotteries. Okay? So there is my connecting, concluding sentence. At this point, my reader knows that, okay, the writer or the author is finishing up their paragraph, their idea here, and starting to transition, starting to change into the next idea, which are the benefits of lotteries. I hope that's clear for everybody who's watching. If it's not, let me know and I'll explain more. Okay? Meanwhile, I'll look at a couple examples. So Begzod says, for example, my best friend Jack spent about $1,000 on poker last year. Unfortunately, he not only lost all of his money, but also lent $200, but also borrowed money from his work. The end there's a little bit strange, Begzod. I have a feeling you're giving a real example here, and I feel really bad for your friend Jack. Just be careful how you express your ideas. So unfortunately, he not only lost all of his money, but also lost money from which he borrowed. Okay, so a little bit differently, Begzod, to make it clearer. All right. Okay, so this is my body paragraph 1. Now I can go into my body paragraph 2. My body paragraph 2 deals with the benefits of the lottery, okay? So body 2, benefits of the lottery for the person and individual, plus proper regulation, okay, because I mentioned that in my thesis. All right. So that's what you need to write. So body 2 follows the same structure, okay? There's a topic, there's an explanation, there's an example, okay? Now you don't have to have a connecting or a concluding sentence for your last body paragraph because you have the conclusion as your final body paragraph, or sorry, as your final paragraph, which is enough for concluding. So you don't need a connecting or a concluding sentence, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? So that's the one way that body paragraph 2, or your last body paragraph before the conclusion, is different, okay? So you need a topic sentence, plus you need explanation, okay? Plus you need example, but no connecting or concluding sentence. All right? And then finally comes your conclusion. Your conclusion has a few different important parts as well. Okay? Your conclusion should have your main points restated, okay, plus your opinion strongly presented, plus a take-home message. Okay, so something of value to your reader, such as lotteries can be much fun as long as they are played responsibly. Okay, so you can give value to your reader. That's the idea of a good take-home message. Okay. Pachu, in your conclusion, you restate your points, you restate your opinion, you give a message, but you should never include new ideas. All right. In about 30 minutes, I will do another task 2 for members at our Academic English Help channel, and there I will do the whole essay with conclusion as well. Okay. In the conclusion, you should never include new ideas that you don't have in your essay. Okay. You're just concluding. You're not presenting new ideas. Okay. Kestra, you're saying you're having trouble coming up with advantages for gambling. Here are the advantages that we came up with at the beginning of class, just to remind everybody to help you finish this essay for homework. So the advantages are easy money. You invest very little, you win a lot, you become rich. It's exciting. It's fun. Ooh, look at that. 2 numbers are matching. Wow, 3 numbers are matching. Maybe I'll be a millionaire. Lotteries can be a social activity. People can get together. They can play in groups and teams. Makes it even more exciting. It gives some people hope. So some people that have no hope of ever becoming filthy rich, it gives them hope that the lottery is a way to do it. And the other big positive for society, Kesra, is that lottery money, when it's used well by the government, can be spent on building schools or funding different kinds of projects for the community, okay, for sports programs and so on. So there's lots to go on with that. Okay, students, it's been a pleasure teaching you here on General IELTS Help General IELTS Help YouTube channel. We will be uploading HD videos to this channel, so make sure that you subscribe and that you check back. But for now, we're going to put the live classes on hold on this channel, and we're going to do more members chat classes on our Academic English Help channel. So keep that in mind, students. And again, if you have questions, just send me an email to adrian@gieltshelp.com. To get access to our premium courses, check out our websites. Click the big red button to join our premium package, gieltshelp.com. Okay? For academic, check us out at aehelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium course there. Lots and lots of great materials for you to practice, learn, improve. So, all right. Students, that's it for me for General IELTS. I will see you briefly in about 30 minutes on our academic IELTS channel, which is Academic English Help. Have a great rest of your day. Much love to all of you, and keep up the good fight. Bye for now.